Всем привет! Мы на канале про политическое убежище в США. Это канал, который рассказывает об иммиграции в США, о деятельности компании Modern Law Group. Меня зовут Марина Соколовская, как всегда, со мной, как всегда и часто, Дэрон Смаллкомб, владелец нашей компании. У нас есть потрясающие новости. Мы решили записать такое небольшое видео, то ли шорта, то ли что-то еще, в котором мы расскажем вам о том, что происходит. Я говорю на русском, на быстром русском. Дэрон меня понимает. У него прекрасный русский. Он говорит на нем с акцентом, поэтому отвечать он будет на английском, на сочном, на таком таком очень, смеется, понимает. На профессиональном адвокатском английском. Я говорю на русском. Титры мы для вас повесим. Дэрон, привет. Рада видеть тебя в Нью-Йорке. Какие последние новости?
All right, well, I'm happy to be here, right? We've had this office for 6 years, so it's always a pleasure to be here in New York. It's great. Got some news, though, too. As of tomorrow, we are open in Miami. We opened a new office in Aventura. Yeah, so really happy. I've had my eye on that market for a long time. So that will be the 6th office for Modern Law Group within the United States, the 7th overall if you count our Cancun office as well. So now we're pretty much in all major cities, serving all major markets, and we're really happy about that. As you know, look, we've been doing this a long time, right? Well over a decade. You know, we've helped over 10,000 families and married couples come together. We've done hundreds of immigration cases, boasting over a 90% approval and success rate over the last year for our Russian-speaking cases. So we're really proud of that, and we're really proud to be able to offer that to a new market in Miami.
Сейчас тебе настроение немножко испорчу. Что насчет этого видео про компанию Modern Law Group, которая вышла на днях? Мы завалены вопросами. Я, конечно, хочу, чтобы ты ответил. Почему появилось такое видео, в котором сообщается, что мы бросили клиента прямо накануне суда, оставили бедняжку без поддержки? Что происходит?
Well, thanks for your question. I'll tell you, Marina, that nothing could be further from the truth. And any lawyer out there knows that you can't just drop a client. It's impossible. And it's ethically wrong. A lawyer could lose their license for doing something like that. So to suggest that we might take like $1,000 from somebody and then tell them to hit the road is both preposterous and stupid, quite frankly. So I always use this type of analogy. When a client hires us, it's as though they're engaged to us. It's like we're their fiance, okay? They can terminate at any time. Maybe they don't like my hair, and they say, I don't want to work with you anymore. I don't like your hair. That's it. We're done. That's it. But as an attorney, it's as though I'm married to a client, okay? So I can't just call it off. It has to be like a divorce, and only a judge could grant a divorce. So if I want to not work with a client anymore for a certain reason, then I have to go to a judge and convince a judge to let me out of representation. Now, I've only had to do this a couple of times, and mind you, we have hundreds and hundreds of court clients. And the times that we've had to do this, it's either been because the client hasn't cooperated with us at all. They fall off the face of the earth, they don't give us what we ask for, and we just can't represent them. The second and more troubling case is when they lie to us or they ask us to lie for them. Modern Law Group will never lie for a client. We're not going to write your story for you or make something up. It's not going to happen. And people ask us all the time to do it. It's really unfortunate that people think that's okay. But we would never do that. It's against the law. I'm not going to prison for somebody to write a story. And so if something like that happens, I would ask the judge to let us out of the case. And like I said, I've only had to do that a couple of times.
Знаешь, в этом же самом видео в очередной раз утверждалось, что я не адвокат, хотя я никогда нигде не говорила, что я адвокат. Окей. И утверждалась такая интересная вещь, что я не допускаю людей до наших адвокатов. Вот я просто не хочу, чтобы люди, которые звонят в компанию, разговаривали с нашими адвокатами.
Doesn't every one of your videos say that you're not an attorney?
Of course, конечно, да.
Didn't you make a video that says, I'm not an attorney?
Дэрон, видишь, это недостаточно, видимо, для кого-то. Я не знаю, что еще сделать.
Doesn't this other channel always use that little clip where you say you're not an attorney and they're, yeah.
Absolutely.
So anybody that would be confused that you're an attorney would be intentionally confused. You're one of many people, actually, that takes phone calls for the company when somebody calls in. How many calls or texts do you think you get per day?
Иногда это просто кошмар. Ну, в смысле, кошмарно это хорошо, но это очень много, просто очень много. Иногда это 50-60 в день.
And how many of them want to speak to an attorney?
Ты знаешь ответ.
How much time do I have in a day to speak to everybody? Right? I think of like a doctor's office. When you come into a doctor's office, is it the doctor that's sitting right there for you saying, oh, who are you? And let's fill out this paperwork. And what's your insurance? And, you know, what's the problem? I mean, it's not the doctor that you meet at the door, is it? Now, you talk to others before you speak to the doctor. You fill out the paperwork. You tell them what's wrong. A nurse comes and checks your vitals to see what your blood pressure is, right? And to make a diagnosis. And then you see the doctor after you've seen everybody else. Okay? That's how a law office works as well, right? We get hundreds and hundreds of inquiries every day. So of course we have to process them. We don't take every case. Many people don't have cases that we're willing to take.
Oh, yeah.
And some people are very upset about that. And some people, I think, ask you often to write a story or something for them. Well, that's never going to happen. And they're not going to get to speak with a lawyer, especially if they ask us to engage in illegal activity from the beginning. That's never going to happen. So like any law firm, like any doctor's office, you have people you speak with first, and then you speak with the lawyer.
Да, мы понимаем, что вот все, что сказано, было какая-то полнейшая глупость. Но скажи, как ты думаешь, зачем они делают это опять и опять? До этого делали, сейчас, и, видимо, не остановятся.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they perceive us as competition. That's entirely possible. So about 6 or 7 months ago, we had an arrangement with the government, with CBP, to help people cross. This was before CBP won, right? And up until that point, it was very difficult to get to the border, right? So we had a scheduling system with CBP where we could schedule our clients to come to the border at a certain time, and CBP would process them and bring them in. Okay. Up until that point, for a couple of years, really the only way to get to the border to do that was to drive a car to the border. Well, it just so happens that this particular channel sells used cars. So maybe once we started doing and helping hundreds of clients be able to make this crossing, their business was impacted. That's entirely possible. And, it just so happens that our law firm, a very reputable law firm, gives free consultations. So if somebody calls in and we don't try to get them to pay to speak to an attorney right away, we'll give you a quick case assessment and let you know if it's something that maybe we could help with or not. Okay, that's free. And we are an American law firm with several lawyers and far more paralegals. They are charging for this same service for immigration advice and so-called relocation advice. They themselves are asylum seekers. So I think it's a hard sell to get somebody to pay you for immigration advice when you're still pending asylum yourself versus free advice from a law firm. So I'm thinking it's a competition-based thing. I'm not really sure. But I also have another theory. You and I both know that several videos have been made about this particular channel from other reputable sources, very reputable sources within the Russian-speaking community and within the asylum community. And it's just like a politician that's going through a scandal. It's look over there, look over there. Don't look here, look there. And I think it's one of these distraction type techniques to get somebody to not focus on them because the focus has been on them up until now. Look, we're an American immigration law firm, okay? We help people get to that American dream of being able to start their lives in America, okay? We're not selling tours in Mexico. We're not selling cars, okay? And we're not preying on immigrants that are desperate to start a new life. We're trying to help them to get to that spot. We've been doing this ethically for over a decade. I'm proud of our track record. I'm proud of what our attorneys stand for and what the people in this firm stand for. And Modern Law Group is going to continue to do the same thing going forward.
Я не могу не спросить, да, а почему мы молчали? Почему, собственно, мы не отвечали?
Marina, our business is immigration. We help immigrants start their lives here. Our job is not to respond to every gopnik that says something about us. We could care less. It's like when you walk down the street here, even in New York, there's maybe some homeless drug addict on the street asking for money. Now, when you don't give him money and you walk by, he might say some bad words to you. Do you pay attention? Nah, I don't care. Or you walk down in the neighborhoods and a little dog is barking at you, right? It's annoying, but just a little dog. But when the dog gets out and bites you, or the junkie comes up and attacks you, then it's different. Then you have to do something. And so initially, of course, I reached out as a professional courtesy to the lawyer that's associated with this channel. But unfortunately, the video is still up, as are the ones that they did before. And so I can only say so much. I've been advised by outside counsel to kind of not say much more, right? But it's unfortunate that when we are focused on helping our clients get through this, that we have to address such issues, and that such issues that are false and slanderous have been brought to the attention of our clients as well. You know, I think there's this old Russian saying. It says that you can only poke a sleeping bear so many times before he wakes up. Well, we've been poked one too many times.
Друзья, всем спасибо за внимание. Обожаю фразу «Продолжение следует». Продолжение следует.